killed a bear, opened it up, taken all the innards out, and now he's going into it. He's literally wearing it like a onesie. You're just stuck behind a really slow-moving cart.
Caution, corpses ahead.
So I'm going to come up, have a little sniff about. You're wearing a necklace of human ears. Imagine you're stuck behind that on a bank holiday because they're crucifying 6,000 of them. I mean, obviously there'll be services.
Did they have wild bean cafes?
Welcome to episode 25 of Bloomin Legends. I'm Johnny Vaughan. That is Gavin Woods. You're right, Woodman.
Yeah, really good.
Just to tell you where this comes from, we still get loads of people saying, where'd you get the idea for Bloomin Legends? Every single day of the week we do a radio show called the 4 till 7 Thang.
On Radio X.
On Radio X. And in the first hour of that, there is always an heroic little slot where Gav furnishes us with a hero. It might be a killer animal.
An inventor.
It might be an awful eccentric, a great eccentric, a villain, a great actor, a guitarist, a drummer. You don't
Something remarkable.
A World War II pilot. You don't know who it is, but they are just somehow heroic. That happens every day on the 4 till 7 thing. And so this podcast is imagine his heroic little slot vastly expanded.
A canyon of a slot.
Yeah, a chasm of a slot.
That's right, yeah.
And that's what we've got here. Can I say, Gav, round of applause to ourselves. This is our silver podcast.
It is. It's the quarter century.
It's a silver podcast.
Amazing.
I remember two things. One, the Queen's Silver in 1977.
Yes.
I remember a lot about that year.
Right.
Which was the Queen's Silver Jubilee. Like I said, it's our Silver Jubilee podcast.
Yeah.
I remember God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols would have got to number one in Jubilee week.
Right.
But they stopped it.
Right.
Because it was.
They didn't want that
it wasn't on
coming
message.
together. Yeah.
They stopped it. They said no, and so they put it at number 6.
Yes,
which
absolutely.
I still like.
Yeah.
It can go in the top 10. I love the fact.
Yeah, let them have the top 10.
They negotiated. Okay. And they're called the Sex Pistols, which is obviously a euphemism for your penis.
Sure.
Your Sex Pistol, which is extraordinary that a lot of people didn't see that at the time.
No, right.
Kind of like Ray-Ban sunglasses,
which are they're actually describing what they do.
Yeah, they ban the sun's rays, but no one ever thinks of Ray-Ban as that. In fact, the company's called Bausch and Lomb.
Right.
They make lenses and they made sunglasses which ban the sun's rays.
So it's the model, not the make. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I thought the make was Ray-Ban.
No.
Wow.
So the Sex Pistols, I'm not comparing them to a leading.
It's still a pretty risky name at the time.
It is,
very risque at the time.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they should have been number one that year. What's significant also about that year, of course, it's the last year the French chopped someone's head off.
Yes, this always blows my mind. Last time they used the guillotine.
The guillotine, it was in 1977. They did use it again in 81.
And the other amazing fact, the guillotine named after a man who was trying to stop capital punishment.
Yes.
How weird is that?
Yeah. So that's 1977, and I think that was the last huge silver jubilee in this country.
I would think, yeah.
And now us.
Yes, that's right.
Here we are, Gav.
And here we are. And what a great silver anniversary to be doing.
Who is our silver anniversary, our silver jubilee legend?
Today, Johnny, we are Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
Okay.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
So we've got Spartacus.
Yes, Spartacus, Gladiator, rebel, legend.
Okay, what I'm interested in here, Gav, because I know very little about Spartacus. I know there genuinely was a slave revolt, and that's about it.
That's right, yes. Well, you're the same as me. I didn't know until I started reading
I don't know if it was led by a Jewish geese with a big dimple in his chin.
You're talking about Isur Danielovich.
Yes.
Kirk Douglas.
Yes.
Famously.
Was that his real name?
Yeah, his real name, Isur Danielovich.
Fantastic.
It's a great name.
I tell you what as well, an unbelievably good actor.
Fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And a real character as well.
Well, he might be a blooming legend down the line.
Absolutely. Yeah, good point.
Okay, so Spartacus was a real guy.
He was.
Gav, let's find out about him. Where was he from?
We'll do the quick bio. He was a Thracian gladiator. Now, Thrace is what we now think of as northern Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, and a bit of Turkey.
Yes.
So it was a huge area around that part of the world.
Thracian.
In the Balkans.
Yeah.
I like to think that a TH might have been pronounced G at the time, and this is actually Grace.
Yeah, Grace.
It's Greece.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not.
Yeah.
Anyway, he led one of the most famous slave uprisings in history.
But it might be. Do you know what, Gav? It might be there was Thrace and Greece.
Yes,
it
right.
Might
It
be
could have
northern
easily been that. It could have easily
because
been.
originally, of course, there was Thrace,
Yeah.
and there was Grace.
Well, we had the Gratians,
and then there was
and the
Weiss,
Thracians.
Weiss, when we get the word west.
Yes.
And there was Iced.
Yeah.
So you get, it was originally
Yes.
Thrace, Iced, Grace, and Weiss. And then obviously it changed. With
Just
time.
like our own Essex, Sussex.
Yeah, it was Saxons.
Wessex and
yeah.
Northumberland.
And Northumberland,
which
yeah.
has always
And
struck
Middlesex,
me as a
yeah.
bit well. Why
Saxons.
not Norsex? Anyway, yeah. Originally enslaved and forced to fight in the arena, he escaped.
Because that would be no sex.
That's right, yeah, no sex.
The North Saxons
Yes, it
would be no sex.
I know, I've never understood why they weren't.
Because then they could have put on that musical.
No sex,
please.
please.
We're Britain. No sex, please. We're ancient Britons. Yeah, right.
Also, county cricket would have looked a bit weird.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But anyway, yes, he led a slave rebellion against the Romans, which you didn't do lightly. The Romans were running things in those days.
Okay. Were they in the Colosseum? Come on, Gav.
Well, let me get into it. So originally enslaved and forced to fight in the arena, he escaped with fellow gladiators in 73 BC and sparked what they call the Third Servile War.
Right, well, I don't think Julius Caesar being the first Caesar, I don't think he was Caesar then. It must have been the triumvirate, which was him, Augustus, and not
Before
Augustus.
they had Julius Caesar,
what was
yeah.
it? Julius Caesar, Octavius, and I forget the third. Anyway, there was three of them kind of shared it. I think.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that the Colosseum is called the Colosseum because it was built on the site of where a Colossus had been.
Right.
Which is a big statue.
Yeah.
Of the Colossus.
Yes.
And so every time you see
Was it related to Colossus?
Yes.
Right, I didn't know that.
It's a Colossus, yeah. So that's why it's called the Colosseum. All Roman, they always think there's a Colosseum in that town. They're not. They are amphitheatres.
Amphitheatres,
It is an amphitheatre.
Right.
But this one was called the Colosseum.
It had a name, right.
Because it was bigger than all the others. It was in Rome. It was also on the site of the Colossus.
The statue of Colossus.
The
and
Colossus.
itself a giant amphitheatre.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble is you don't know how much has been kind of added on as things went on.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Additions.
it's had a lot of uses, Gav.
It definitely,
I mean, at one
yeah,
time
yeah.
it was a church, Anyway, go on.
So over 2 years, he defeated multiple Roman legions. He terrified the Senate, so there was a Senate.
Yeah.
And he became a symbol of resistance and freedom. So a lot of what we know about him is from accounts that were recorded about 100 years after he died.
Right.
In 103 BC, this is supposedly when he was born in Thrace.
Okay.
He was likely born in Thrace, southeastern Europe, known for tough-as-nails warriors.
Yes.
And a serious distaste for authority.
Well, it must have been part of what was the Persian Empire, I thought there, a few hundred years before. That's where the Persians coming from. Because
The Thracian Empire.
I don't know, but I
Yeah.
would suspect the Persians had conquered it and they must have booted them out.
Yeah, I mean,
about
I think
about 300 years before. I don't know that, but
a serious distaste for authority, that's the same now, isn't it? You know, there's just a lot of...
I can't believe it was a turbulent region even then.
I know. Amazing.
Christ alive, when will it end in the Balkans?
But they were known, the Thracians, as fierce warriors with a reputation as hellraisers.
Can I just say, wasn't everyone?
Well, yeah, they all were.
I know, you can't find some people who go, no, they were known as they weren't warriors.
No, they were very calm
They were
warriors.
very calm people.
Very reasonable.
Peace-loving.
No heads on spikes with that lot.
They were peace-loving. No, but just like everyone was.
Of course, yeah.
Show me somewhere there wasn't. They were fierce warriors and very proud of that. Show me somewhere they weren't. They were into art. And
also, it suits people to be known as fearsome.
Fierce warriors, yeah.
And, well, as it says here, living for battle.
right.
You'd want your enemies to think you loved a battle.
Right.
Wouldn't you?
But you didn't just sort of go in there and just ever. Well, I don't know, but this idea that there are these exceptional countries of fierce warriors.
It says here after a battle they would feast with severed heads of enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Bodicea did
all
this.
did
That's
that.
old hat.
That's old hat.
Everyone had the heads on
That's like
spikes.
Netflix.
It is.
You had to do that. You had to. As people just kind of kick
They
out.
laughed at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe they were known as a mild-mannered tribe.
No, there were no
there was
matinee soldiers.
Yeah, the names like the Vandals, the Hun. They're all awful.
Yeah, that's right.
There
was
whoever.
no, like the reasonables.
Yeah, there was no nice guys kicking around.
The negotiators.
Yeah, they were so very introverted.
The Pax. The peaceful warriors.
Yeah, they were very introverted. They liked to stay in their caves and play music.
Yeah, that's right. They never gloated after victory.
They were into crafts.
They would always treat their enemies' wounds.
Yeah, right.
And help them back, nurse them back to health.
Just fucking all. Sorry,
And they
they're all
killed
just
everyone.
They just killed everyone. And they didn't get, and anyone who wasn't killed was a slave.
That's right, and that's pretty much
That's
it. He actually served, and this is
Can I
fascinating.
just ask you though?
Go on.
Do you think people prided themselves on being fierce back then?
They must have.
Like hooligans.
Oh, definitely.
In fact, was that a tribe, the hooligan?
John, why did they have like a whole wolf's head over their
right.
over their own?
Yeah.
You know, what else are
Yeah, a
they
lot
doing?
of guys get. Imagine that. A lot of guys turn up and they've all got sort of like he's got a helmet fashioned of steel to look like a wild hog.
Yeah, right.
And that's how he.
John, it's no different to like a Millwall tattoo on a calf muscle.
No, no.
You are fearsome.
Yes.
You are fearsome.
Yes,
If you
but-
like being inside a wolf's head.
No, I think that you've got. I can understand colours and putting those sort of things.
Yeah.
And there's war paint.
Yes.
But there is this thing of literally you going in there and you've got like a severed wolf's head round your head. And
There's always the oddball that's chosen a horse. Why have you done the horse? Well, it just looks tall.
It looks tall. Looks mean. There's another guy.
Really
But you do. You're right. You got a guy there. He's literally just killed a bear, opened it up, taken all the innards out, and now he's going into it. He's literally wearing it like a onesie.
With the claws.
You just see his eyes out there. This is how I'm going to battle. But no, you moron, you can't even move in it. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
People will shit themselves when they see me.
Do you want to see the others? There's 20 of us, which we're going in firm-handed, dressed as bears.
Imagine him walking into an inn at the
Yeah.
end of a day.
Yeah. No, but a whole bear thing like that.
Two
They go,
meads, please.
"But you can't even move in it. You won't be able to wield a sword." You go, "I know, but but these other things. And look what else we've got.
Yeah.
Look even more savage. And
That's a rabbit. No
he
one's
says,
going to
"Look at
be
this.
scared
You're
of
a
that."
bear and you're wearing a necklace of human ears." You know. He says, you want to see what Steve's got on? Yeah.
What are the options?
He's wearing an old man's head as a medallion. That's how fierce we are. You think what? He's dressed as a bear with an old man's head on a bit of rope.
Now, you should see Craxus. He's got like 5 rabbits round his head.
Round a bear's head.
With an eagle on each shoulder. Because they don't. What did they have? They have weasels, otters, wolves, and bears.
Yeah,
That's
fantastic.
It. Or no, wild boar.
Yeah, wild boar.
Imagine a wild boar on your head.
But he's just got earrings. As he goes into battle, he's got an earring. Earrings just made of human hands, just dangling off his ears.
Maybe that's where the name Hands came from. That's how it started.
Yeah. It'd be good, or just going into battle with literally a thong made of hands.
My God.
Yeah.
See, now that would scare me more than the guy with the wolf on his
Although
head.
you could shape them to your body during rigor mortis. So
Yes,
it was
you could.
literally quite snug on your parts.
So like a Met Gala outfit.
Yeah,
it really worked, wouldn't it?
Exactly like
It really worked.
Yeah. You
So-
can have them as like elbow pads. Hands they're quite handy. They're quite handy, wouldn't it? You could just leave the hands into any position you want, and then it would freeze like that. And then you could,
that's
you
genius.
could use it for grabbing cooking pots.
You could. You could have a couple of tortoise shells for knee pads
you
as
could
well.
have that, but
very
not-
useful.
Not very fierce though.
No, but it would save on like an arrow.
People would just
If
go,
an arrow
no,
went
they
for your
wouldn't. People
knee.
would just go, "What the fuck are you doing? Tortoise shells." Go, what? They're really good in case I get an arrow in the knee. It's hardly fierce, is it? Look, me and the boys are dressed up as fucking bears.
We've made an effort.
We've made the effort.
He had to kill that bear just to wear it.
Make the effort, Dave. Christ's sake. Coming in with tortoise shells.
2 weasels and a tortoise.
Tortoise shells there and a weasel on your head. And a weasel
Check out Weasel Boy.
and a weasel neckerchief. Christ alive.
It's not scary,
Yeah,
Dave.
might as well turn up dressed as Jack fucking Russell. Might as well
It's
come in
hilarious.
dressed as a sheepdog.
I think it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's quite fantastic. Imagine you showed up, yeah,
Yeah, go on.
and you dressed as a sheep,
Yes.
and they go, "What are you doing?" You go, "Ah," and you're a wolf underneath.
They won't be looking for me.
A wolf.
You'd be so sweaty.
No, but I'm just
You're
saying.
like in midsummer.
It's weird. No, you wouldn't mind though, because it looks more fierce.
That's too sweaty.
You'd be like in the Revenant when they can hardly move.
Yeah. God, they're tired in
God,
the Revenant,
they're
aren't they?
knackered,
They're
aren't they?
always
All in those,
knackered.
just hauling the coats
Just
around.
knackered
Yeah.
and wet.
We did cover incidentally the Revenant in an earlier.
Oh, do
episode.
check out that episode.
It's a cracker.
It's fascinating.
It's a cracker.
Uh,
Right, so we've established that every single people that Rome conquered, any people on this earth at
Yes.
the time,
yes.
is described as a fierce people. And the reason, as fierce warriors, the reason they are all described as fierce warriors is because whether they were or not, is because otherwise there is no value in the conquest, and history was always entirely written by the winner. So they weren't going to go, we found them there, literally just some sad old farmers.
Yeah.
And they're just guys with sheep.
They never admit that, would
no
they? No
resistance at all.
That's
none.
True.
So
it's
so
great propaganda.
Tacitus, Dio,
vicious warriors.
All of them, Suetonius. They're all these people who wrote about any Roman conquest, particularly in Britain. The exaggerations, honestly, they really sweep the leg of truth. It's bullshidus.
Ancient bullshido.
It's bullshidus.
Yeah, bullshidus.
It really is.
Wow.
They really do exaggerate.
Wow. Well, amazingly, he served in the Roman auxiliary, as did all the colonies, I presume.
Yeah. Well, remember,
as you said, either a slave or killed.
Well, Rome, remember, didn't have many people.
No, it's a small place.
It's a small city-state,
yes.
like Athens was or Sparta was. All these places. So it's a city-state. You invade the others, and gradually they become Roman.
Right.
So virtually the whole army is auxiliary.
Yes.
So when the Romans in 43 AD invaded Britain, they did it with 4 legions. That's all.
Is that it?
And 2 of those were auxiliary legions. So they only did it with 2
groups
Roman
of Roman
legions. The others were
legionnaires.
mainly Spanish or wherever they've come from. They they didn't have many people in Rome. It wasn't like Rome now.
Well, Spartacus was obviously a Thracian Roman auxiliary.
Right.
Until his late 20s. And then he somehow, and we don't know how, ended up enslaved and sold as a gladiator warrior. I think I know how.
Right.
I think it's a bit like a college superstar NFL player.
Right.
I think they just thought, this guy is handy in a fight.
That's why.
Let's force a situation where he has to become enslaved. We'll shift him into the gladiator lifestyle because he's box office.
You don't think it's because the commander saw rebellion in his eyes?
Perhaps. And wanted to make an example of him.
Wanted to make an example. He just saw rebellion. He was such a fierce warrior. He couldn't be tamed.
Well,
because I'm always fascinated by this whole thing of you conquer it sort of says that there were places they conquered that obviously didn't put up any resistance at all.
Yeah.
Because they just kicked out the people at the top.
Whoever was running that area. Yeah.
That's like Britain did with its empire.
Which were all small little kingdoms, small little private armies. They just kill the leaders and...
You just do deals with the top people. Like when the Golden Hordes took out Russia, wherever they took out, they only really had to do deals with the top guys.
Right.
And that's it. They had them all working for them. Britain did the same with the Raj. We didn't conquer India.
Not really, no.
You couldn't do.
It never lasts anyway. You always get booted out.
It was just a business deal.
Right, of course.
And they did business with the top guys.
Yeah,
they made more money because suddenly
it's trade territory,
a load of stuff they couldn't move at home, they can suddenly sell it abroad.
Right,
Much like goods coming out of Chinese factories today. They can't sell that at home.
No, of course.
Right.
Yeah. So in 73 BC, he is sold. So he's in his 20s, 30s. He's sold as a gladiator in Capua. That might explain it. If gladiators were valuable, then there's money involved. Yeah. So he's taken to Capua and trained to fight and die for Roman entertainment at a gladiator school owned by a Lentulus Batiatus. He was trained as a mumillo. This is a heavily armed gladiator. In fact, I've looked up the different classes of gladiator.
Take me through it.
These are fascinating. It's not about how big the guy was. It's about how he's armed.
Right.
So a mumillo is a heavily armoured fighter with a large shield and helmet and a sword. It's called the Gallic style. They might have got it from the French. A provocateur is more like a legionary. So he's got the chest plate and the shin guards. They call it a greave. And the retiarius is the guy with a pair of Speedos on, a trident and a net.
Right.
And what they would do, there's others. He was the agile guy.
But is that all you ever fought with?
No. Then there was the Thracian, which was a small shield with a curved sword.
So that's a Thracian?
Yes, but he didn't fight as a Thracian. He fought as a mumillo.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he's probably stronger. But
but isn't that weird that he didn't...
It is fascinating,
He didn't fight in the style of his region.
Right.
I shun that.
I guess
you've got to be kidding me.
I guess they're a bit like football positions. It's whatever suits your build.
So what's the Thracian one?
A Thracian is a small shield with a curved sword.
Wow.
A Samnite.
Actually, who would go? I guess because the shield's quite clumpy and you have to...
Well, the heavier the shield, the more tired you're going to get.
I said seal. That'd be an odd thing to fight
Very
with.
different, yeah.
He fought with a seal.
Yeah, a living seal.
A living seal.
Really tiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just wheeled it around and sort of battered people with a seal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then you
It
have
balanced things on its nose.
Then you have the Samnite, which was a short sword with a rectangular shield and shin pads.
Right.
Then you had the Bestiari. Can you guess who they were?
What?
They're the ones who fought animals.
Oh, Bestiari.
Yeah,
right.
they're the ones who like it's him and the lion. So imagine that being your speciality. How do you learn you're good at fighting lions?
Can I say something about that, which is really odd?
Go on.
Is they must have got tips for how to fight a lion.
From who?
And then you wait, right? And the lion says, yeah. And what happens? The hatch opens and a lion comes out.
Yeah, and then what?
And then what
happens?
Then you're fucked.
Then, my friend,
Then, my friend,
you
are
fucked.
about as fucked as you can be.
Because don't forget, that's a hungry lion coming.
But your
up.
best bet
Yeah,
is lie there and pretend to be dead.
yeah,
And when it comes sniffing around you,
yeah,
you then try and stab it up.
yeah.
But
Try and stab it, or maybe shit yourself.
yeah,
He won't like the smell.
you go in there, cover yourself with blood.
That's
like
right,
you're
yeah,
already dead, and
yeah.
you pray.
Yeah. And you pray to whatever gods.
Another good trick. Imagine you go and see.
Imagine being the Bestiari coach.
Yeah.
Like they have goalkeeper coaches.
Why aren't those guys in there training?
No point, mate.
No point, mate. They're going to get eaten by lions. No point. No point.
Mate, just look that way. See them lions?
Yeah.
See how they're not eating?
No, but I wonder, and we were talking earlier about people dressing up in costumes.
Yeah.
But if you see like how bullfighters train,
Yeah.
well, they have a bull's head on a bicycle.
On a wheelbarrow-y thing.
They have
Yeah,
a wheelbarrow and they
yeah.
train it for the thing. So
Yes.
I wonder if they had like a lion.
I think they definitely had
a
that.
lion machine
They
and a bloke
definitely
behind
had
it who
that.
knows.
They
And the
definitely
lions
had
are like
that.
that. And they've got
With
a
his
lion.
mouth open.
So, or maybe there's a guy dressed up as a lion.
Right. Yes.
Or maybe you just really feed up a lion. Because it would have been lionesses, because lions are quite lazy, aren't they?
Yeah, lionesses do the hunting in
But
real.
I think lions kick
lions
ass.
do security.
They do security.
Yeah.
They sort
They'll
of
chase
lazy
off the hyenas and they'll fight other lions.
But I wonder if they had a guy then dressed up as a
Really
as
good
a
point.
lion.
Really good point. Because what if it's more than three?
Because we lions, I'm a lion, and what am I going to do? I'm not going to do that, am I? Think about it.
See, now you're lion.
See, look, no. What are you saying, Dave? I'm a fucking lion. I'm not going to do that, am I?
Don't question my lionness.
I've watched them. Right, so I'm a lion, yeah? And he's all like that. I'm prowling along, growl.
Maybe a sniff.
Maybe I'm going to have a look. I'm going to go around. I'm not going to lunge at you, yeah?
No.
Because I'm quite well fed.
That's
So I'm not at first. So I'm going to come up, have a little sniff about. Yeah? You're lying there. Yeah? I'm going to move on, aren't I? I'm going to look for another one. Yeah? Who's a bit more lively. Now you're or maybe carrying a bit more weight. So the first thing with lion training, try and stay trim. Yeah?
Stay trim.
They're always going to go for the for the pulkers.
And whatever you do not eat sausages just before the fight.
Don't eat sausage.
Don't eat anything
raw,
that smells delicious.
Also, I've found they like something a bit spicy.
A really weird thing to find.
It's really weird. But
did they do? We know the lions were in the Gladiators.
yes.
Was it definitely tigers? Did they ever have?
No, they never went to India.
No, I was going to say. So
There's no tigers.
So lions.
They might have got to. Did they go to India?
Hyenas. I seem to remember that Romans had hyenas sometimes.
No, but they fought they fought baboons.
What, in the Gladiators?
Yes, that was a fighting baboons. That's a big thing.
Right. And what about like
rhino?
Bears? Did they ever have bears?
They've had bears everywhere.
There's always
But
bears.
I don't think. I mean, bears. We could do that at home.
You don't come to the Colosseum.
You don't come to the Colosseum
And then see a bear.
Oi! Bears?
I can get this in London.
I can get this in
Londinium.
I can get this in Switzerland.
Are you not entertained?
That's true.
Seriously.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Bears?
Yeah.
We got Untold in France. So they wouldn't. I don't think bears. So it had to be something. I think lions.
Yeah, I think so. There was one other final class of gladiator
Yeah.
called the Andabatai.
What's that?
They fought blindfolded.
Did they?
They were like the Jedi, I guess. Was it like an extra punishment, do you think? Or did they have like really good
Unless they were just blind.
sense of hearing,
No, they're
or
just
they
blind.
were blind? Yeah.
They were blind.
But I don't know.
A really good drinking game, which I've played many times.
Yeah.
Is you're with the chaps, and it's lovely after dinner game. This one,
Sure.
and you've got to choose your two weapons.
Uh-huh.
Which one you're going to be.
Right.
And now you've made this list, which will, I hope, appear on the screen so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
You've got to choose what you are and say why. It's a lovely dinner party game.
Okay.
I once interviewed David Mitchell on a radio show, and we were playing exactly this game.
Right.
And I said to him, what would you pick?
In a gladiator scenario.
Yes,
Right.
Do you know what he said?
What?
He'd pick...
Go on.
He'd pick a shed
Yeah.
and a crossbow. I said, what? He said, yeah, just lift up and move around as a
Taking
shed.
out-
As a shed.
taking
and
out
then
animals
I'd
and gladiators.
watch something approach, I'd have a little slit, I'd just go like that. I said, you can't move around. No, I think he said he'd have a shed and quite a long spear.
A long staff.
But the idea
Yeah.
that you could be in a shed.
Yeah, brilliant.
Everyone looking at a Colosseum and there's just a shed with little feet coming out.
A little
The bottom.
outhouse.
That's too good, isn't it?
A moving outhouse. Final detail about the gladiator matchups. They never pitted any style of gladiator against the same style.
Didn't they?
They always wanted a narrative, an interesting comparison.
Oh, right.
So they would have the lightweight guy with the net and the trident versus the heavy armoured guy.
So it's theatrical because it showed how people in the empire would fight each other. So,
and interesting. You know, what is more effective?
so when Spartacus started, for them, he didn't look Thrace. That's not the image they sold of Thrace.
They set him up as a murmillo, a heavily armed murmillo.
Yes. See how the Murmillo defeats the Thracian.
That's right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
And they made it up as they called whoever whatever, didn't they?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so he is sold
It's
as...
a pantomime, but
It
with
is,
death.
but with some death.
Yeah. So, Gav, let's go back. We got a bit distracted there.
By all the classes.
By all the classes. So
he's a murmillo.
So tell us again, what did Murmillo wear?
He carried a long, oblong, heavy shield, and he used an 18-inch gladius broadsword, a broad-bladed sword.
Right.
And a sort of heavyweight.
Right.
He's a basher.
So we get the name Gladiator from people who use that characteristic sword.
Yes, I think gladius means leaf. It's the shape of a leaf.
Okay.
I think. I might be wrong.
So, Gav, next question. Where is this that he's doing it? He hasn't got to Wembley yet, which is
he's in a place called Capua.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that is. It's in the Empire
New
somewhere.
Guinea.
No. He's under the tutelage of Lentulus Batiatus.
I don't know him, Gav. Was he like the Jose Mourinho? Or
Well, interestingly, you were talking about the way they...
he's like the Neil Warnock. Quite provincial, but he'll get you promoted.
I'll tell you what he was known for.
Right.
He was known for, he would know which gladiators needed a kick up the arse and which ones needed an arm round the shoulder.
Right.
He was that kind of man management. Yeah.
He was a gladiator's coach.
He was a gladiator's coach.
Yeah, but the point is, he's like a Neil Warnock figure. He gets you up.
Very similar.
He gets you up.
Very similar.
Before you get to those more, your Pep Gladiola.
That's
That's right. Before you get
a new kind of flower.
You get your Pep Gladiola, yeah.
So we were talking a minute ago about how they trained.
Yeah.
Well, when they trained in the Murmillo style...
I'm thinking about the lion
I know,
trainer.
don't. They trained with wooden swords and they did weight training. They fed them up. They didn't train for strength. They trained for stamina because they wanted longer fights.
Yes.
More interesting fights. This is the same year, not long.
Did they, and this is something we don't know, but the fact they're all living together and doing stuff together, if it resembles anything, aside from bullfighting, where they all move around together and they're up against animals, but when they're up against each other, do you think it was more like WWE?
That's fascinating.
Because they get hurt and people favour them.
Yes.
And it's theatrical. You see, I would think it'd be much more like WWE wrestling than anything else, with great characters. They're in these things where it doesn't really matter where you're from. And obviously it is brutal, but you're training to fight with it. And you're doing weight training. And it's actually... very few of them really died. Occasionally you've got to kill someone and they learn that.
And they keep that going.
Right, they keep it going. But
I think you're 100% right.
But I reckon you see it was WWE. I think it's really misunderstood. Like Nero once had 79 nights of fights. In a row. In a row.
Yeah.
Just to I think it was even more than that after a big victory.
Yeah.
Or he was trying to appease his people for something
and they were
dreadful,
getting
like
sick of him.
burning the city down.
Right.
And then after that, after blaming Christians, he had all these nights of fights, because they also used to do it in the Circus Maximus, where obviously St. Peter was famously killed by lions or whatever.
Right,
so if it was a show of just absolute slaughter of captives, they were there. I think it was WWE, because
Wouldn't these have been little enactments that made the Roman Empire look glorious? And also, anyone in charge of selling tickets.
Yes.
Anyone selling any tickets, even if you manage Elvis Presley and you know you're going to sell tickets, you're still going to find ways to sell more tickets.
Right, what sells tickets?
And so the drama and theatre and storylines...
What sells tickets, Gav?
Fill the stadium.
Rematches.
Yes.
Great
grudge
entertainers.
matches.
You wouldn't be able to keep killing them. There is no
that's
way.
Right. Yeah.
No way.
And you get the occasional patsy who's got to die.
Who's got to die.
And I think you're right. You couldn't... how could a gladiator get famous?
Right. Those guys who fought lions, This is another misunderstood thing. Those guys who fought lions. You see, I think they were lion tamers who knew the lions.
And how to have play fights.
Behold how the lion obeys him. Look, they're not going to be able to get lions all the time. Capture them, bring them back to Rome. There'd have been lions they worked with. They'd have fed them loads of food.
From when they were cubs,
So look how the lion...
No, but even now you see lion people who work with lions. Yeah. They come up and they kind of hold on to them in a hug, but it could be seen as an attack, but it's not really an attack.
If you're having that many nights of fights, which they had, particularly
you can't just keep killing
on the big Roman religious festivals, you can't keep killing your favourites. Also, because I studied Roman history. One of the things you study is graffito.
Yes.
That's kicking around.
And
the
it's
place.
real. It's real.
It's real. But there's so much graffiti about which fighters you favour.
Yes.
So for the public to actually start favouring a fighter and to be able to have a favourite that comes back, then he must just keep continuing to fight, and he must have old adversaries and that
patsy opponents.
The heel, the baddie.
Yeah.
I don't believe. At this level of humanity, I don't believe we change. And I think occasionally, obviously, they'd have to go, they'd have a baddie just to
keep it all going. Yeah, absolutely right.
But
and there's money to be made.
Yeah, of course there is.
Of course they made it more entertaining.
Of course they're going to fake it, that he's managed to recover,
Yeah. Anyway, we have reached Spartacus's first Bloomin Legend moment. He decides to rally 70 gladiators in his group and break out of the school. They broke out of the school, free from the school, but it wasn't as simple as it sounds. They fought their way out.
Right.
But more importantly, they fought their way out with kitchen utensils.
Nice.
Because until they got to the actual circus, they didn't have real weapons.
Right.
Because there was the danger they could break out.
Yeah.
So they'd have wooden swords and, harmless things to train with. But they went into the kitchen and armed themselves with knives and skewers and fought their way out with kitchen gear.
Wow.
What are you picking up? You go through a kitchen to start a rebellion? I mean, I don't know if they didn't have electrical power. I worked in a kitchen once that had a hand blender that was like an outboard motor. It was massive.
But that wouldn't be available to Spartacus. No, that wouldn't be Gav. He can't have a hand.
I know, but you could do some
damage.
No,
he can't.
With it. You could have had like a hand.
No, but he would.
Version.
Well, unless you have really fast wrists, you're not going to be able to do that. He's not going to do that, is he? I think.
No, I'm going with the big chef's knife. I mean, you can't do better than that.
Meat hammer.
Big
meat hammer.
Oh, yes.
hand. I want something that's going to give me reach. Maybe sharpen up a big ladle.
Yes.
For one of those big coppers.
Yes.
Those big pots.
I want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Fill a ladle with molten lead, and you've got a big club in your hand.
I'd fight them with hot soup. Ow!
Just flinging hot soup at everyone.
I'd boil up some olive oil.
Hot caramel.
That's hotter.
Yeah.
Well, olive oil goes, a little bit.
Yeah,
olive oil with a little bit of sugar in it.
Molasses.
Yeah, molasses. Yes, that's what I go for, Gav. Hot water.
I think it's genius.
Yeah. Can I just say, we are obviously going to list the different sorts of fighters you've got so you can play the Gladiator drinking game.
Yes.
Great for after dinner, ladies. But also, and that's just for the girls.
Yes.
But also...
What utensil would you go for?
What utensils would you grab to break out of the Gladiator school? Or if you were just fighting with kitchen utensils, what would you go for? I've already taken soup. Gav's gone for a big ladle.
Yeah, perfect.
Which is perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, at Bloomin Legends. Bloomin Legends at global.com.
Yeah.
Or comment below on YouTube.
Or comment below on YouTube. But we'd love to get involved in that dialogue. But also, what you think from that list would be the best matchup? Which one do you find appealing?
What
Gav,
if someone comes at you with a ladle? What would you like to?
No,
be
I
holding?
meant the gladiator matchup.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
just which ones do you find the most intriguing combination?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if you want to do your perfect night, your perfect card at the Colosseum, please, celebrity with weapons.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah. And what style would they be?
Use footballers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not boxers, because that's all fixed anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. So yes, they break out with their kitchen utensils. They defeat various groups of local troops. They raid supply lines in the area, including stealing several wagons loaded with gladiatorial weapons.
Did
so
they?
they actually get some tools.
You see, that's always the thing, isn't it?
That's-
They broke
that's
into the
the
army.
key. That's
but
like-
back then, they didn't. It wasn't.
No, I was just
Yeah,
thinking boxes of ammo.
Yeah,
you know,
but you just grab a sword.
Yeah,
look at them, yeah.
yes, this will do.
Looks like a sword.
It's sharp.
Yeah, looks like a sword. Wow.
Definitely. From there, they fight their way out of the area and escape to Mount Vesuvius.
Nice.
Along the path, Spartacus recruits more men. He frees anyone who's being held by the
Right.
Romans, who are all motivated by then against the Roman occupiers. And he also grabs up as many Thracians, Celts, and Germans.
Right.
So disparate was this group that they had to elect a
wait a
leader
second.
from each group.
Wait, Gav, is this a ragtag group?
It is.
Renegades.
And also, Rome's in trouble. They got
Yeah.
some Celts involved.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
They've got their own
And
leaders.
don't tell me, they were fierce warriors.
Of course they were. Spartacus led his own group, the Thracians.
Yeah.
The two other escapees, Crixus led the Celts.
Okay.
And Oenomaus
Yes.
became chief of the Germans.
Okay.
So you've got your Celts, your Germans, and your Thracians
And they're all-
in a ragtag bunch
a
of
ragtag bunch.
angry former prisoner gladiators.
Right. So, and you assume they're just speaking in grunts or broken Latin.
I wonder, yeah.
They're probably broken Latin.
I think broken Latin.
yeah.
That's the common language.
Right, yeah.
It must be.
But they speak the language of violence.
That's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so Gav, where are they at this time, the gladiators? Because obviously, you know, in the film, he goes off and they form a big army.
Well,
and...
the actual school is in Capua, so this
Okay.
is where they've escaped from.
Okay.
The Romans sent a legion of 3,000 men to recapture them, blocking the only road available to the top of the volcano. So they're up on Vesuvius,
Right.
And they know the Romans are coming
Right.
up towards them. The idea was to starve them out, so they were just going to besiege them. But Spartacus was too clever, and
So it was lax security in a local.
It was, yeah.
in a
They took
local
advantage
amphitheatre.
and motivation as
Yeah,
well.
right,
You know,
they
the
suddenly-
security was like, okay, yeah, fine,
right,
I'm with you guys now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but also,
Have you guys got any?
Yeah, but-
are you guys doing like meat on a spit at your camp? I'm with you guys.
Yeah, but also, you know how security, they kind of get on with fighters. Like,
Yeah, well, they're mercenaries, aren't
of
they?
course, if I'd been a gladiator,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Dorman, isn't it? Of course, I was nearly a boxer myself.
That's right. Yeah, don't tell me.
Of course,
My brother fought the lions at the Circus
the only
Maximus.
difference between you, mate, is you were cooked.
Don't give me Spartacus.
Yeah, go on. So they start building this army up.
Well, they're up on Vesuvius. They've got 3,000 Roman legionnaires heading for them. But he's very clever, and this is his second Bloomin Legend moment.
Right.
He builds ropes out of grapevines
Wow.
to climb down Vesuvius and outflank the unsuspecting Romans. That's a proper Hollywood
You always assume
Bloomin Legend moment.
anytime Romans get the chance, they're feasting, getting hammered,
Absolutely.
cavorting with
Best time to attack.
belly dancers.
Absolutely,
and just,
yeah.
Just
there's
what,
lovely tents
Yes.
with sort of proper posts that have been carved.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's capes and things.
Yes.
There's meat being sliced off the
and always,
spit.
and also as soon as you got a mouth, you just vomit.
Every
and then-
time,
and then-
yes. Always and always.
Yeah.
A little bowl of olives.
Yes.
And some
all
bread.
the time. And one of those jugs with a big fluted thing of
amphora.
wine. The amphora,
Yes, yeah.
the big wine. Do you know what a common misconception is? You know, people think of their vomitarium
Yes.
is where Romans used to go and be sick.
Yeah.
It's not.
What is it?
It's an exit.
Oh, so the building is vomiting.
Yes.
It's losing
Yes.
people.
So you go to any Roman
didn't
amphitheatre,
realise.
any Roman amphitheatre, and the vomitarium is just that's an
It
exit.
just means exit.
It just means exit.
That's
yeah.
so
Yeah,
funny.
it's really different. Everyone sort of thinks,
That's so
oh, there were
funny.
vomitariums. They used to be sick. No, they didn't. That's the exit.
It just means
You're
way
really
out.
unpopular. I mean, they probably were sick on the way out.
I wish they'd do that now on like the London Underground.
Yeah.
So he gathers grapevines, makes ropes, and he allows them to climb down either side of the Roman
Wow.
encampment. Right, once down there, they attack the Romans who were asleep.
course
This
they were.
is classic This is Boudica again, all over again, isn't it?
Budic.
Budic, sorry.
Yeah.
They're mostly sleeping. Chased them all out of the area because they caught them cold.
Yeah.
They also gained the rebels loads of provisions because the Romans would have had all olive oil, olives, bread.
Oh, nick from locals.
Amphoras of wine.
Yeah.
Things on a spit.
Loads of really nice ham.
Yeah, pork. Porchetas.
Loads of pork. Some great cheese.
This is eggs. Fresh eggs.
Great cheeses.
Always in wartime, an egg is always
Loads
a really
of,
big
but also
deal.
plenty of wine, most of the point.
Oh, amphoras of the
You
stuff.
can be sure, because it was the wine, they had a lot of wine down there.
Yeah.
That the reason the Romans just had a big night, didn't they? They thought.
And they passed. We're going to be here for weeks.
They're stuck on the mountain.
Let's have a nice night.
Get involved, mate. It's a siege.
Yeah, go on.
No, we'll just starve them out.
Have some pork. Have some pork and wine.
Have some more pork and wine. They'll be out there for years.
Wine.
It's going to take years.
So they attack them. They steal all their provisions and weapons as well because they chase them away. And they stay there. They create like a campsite for their own forces. The Bloomin Legend moment here is that Spartacus has now built a rebel army of over 70,000 former slaves, farmers and fighters.
So wait a second. How did he build up? How did the numbers seem to jump up a bit?
They have jumped up, but he's travelled from Capua all the way to the Vesuvius.
Right.
And everywhere he goes, he's attacked the Romans guarding those areas and freed whoever they've been holding.
No, I tell you why.
So he's grabbing a few I think they're obviously exaggerating. It's
unlikely
a
wild
to be.
exaggeration.
That's the whole. That's almost a Wembley Stadium.
All you got to ask yourself is, were they eventually conquered? Yes, by the Romans.
Yes.
Yeah. Were they eventually? Was the rebellion horribly put down and everyone suffered?
Made an example of?
Yes, made an example.
Ultimately, John, yes.
Okay,
yes,
so they're just lying about numbers. Must have been 200,000 they killed that day.
Anyway, he had more than when he started.
Yeah.
His entire army is now hungry for revenge. They all hate the Romans. They've been crushed by the Romans in the past.
Yeah.
The rebels lacked military training, but they had skillful use of available local materials. That's a special forces thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eat what's there.
Yeah.
Fashion weapons
Forage.
out of it. It's Rambo stuff.
Foraging. It's very modern.
Yeah, absolutely. He continued to defeat Roman forces multiple times, sometimes twice the size of his own. In the winter of 72 BC, we've got to remember we're counting backwards, the rebel army trains ready for Spartacus's next move. In 71 BC, so about a year later, the Romans start to retaliate.
Okay.
Spartacus begins to move his army north towards Roman general Marcus.
So they're raiding. You know, it's not it's Italian, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're just living off the land.
They are,
and happy as
yeah.
Larry,
And they're just
not...
their own marauding force.
Yeah.
And the Roman general who's supposed to be dealing with him, Marcus Licinius Crassus, he was known as the richest man in all of Rome.
Well, Crassus.
Yeah, Crassus.
You know him in the film. He's horrible.
He's horrible.
Yeah, he's that guy with the moody dark hair.
Right,
who I think later appears in Ben-Hur. Yeah.
And he was known to play dirty in warfare and all that. Yeah, horrible. Yeah. I wonder if the word crass comes from that.
I don't know.
Hilarious. Anyway, as there were 2 million slaves in Rome at that time, they were worried that the Spartacus movement would create another rebellion. Yeah, 2 million. Yeah,
2 million.
It's always you're always vastly outnumbered. You're always really nervous.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Absolutely nervous. So they just had to make an example of him. Any deserters were crucified when captured, and Crassus blocked Spartacus's path with trench warfare and brute force. So layers and layers of trenches, and just keep feeding legionnaires into it until he was being dealt with. He didn't quit though. Spartacus tried to recruit pirates to help him flank the legions.
Oh right, by going up the coast.
By going up the coast, but the pirates ran off with the money, and he never saw them again.
Of course they did.
That's so funny. He must have been so angry with them.
Well, just never trust pirates.
But you know what he does? He doesn't give up yet.
Okay.
He instructs his army to build rafts from whatever's there.
Yeah.
Tree trunks and whatever. They build rafts from wood and vines, and they try to float their way to Sicily, off the Italian coast.
Oh man,
which is hilariously stupid.
It's not far.
No, it's not far, but it's a raft.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
Sailors.
You can swim it.
Yeah, I guess. And if they can put sails up and the wind works, they can do it. It's just mad that they're all now on rafts.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
Well, 70,000 on rafts.
Well, they're all bickering. Tie it properly.
It's like the Channel on a sunny day. Go on.
Well, this is their Dunkirk.
Don't tell Farage.
It's their Dunkirk retreat, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
So Spartacus had met his match. He'd been seen off. Crassus prevents them from getting away easily on their rafts, and it's time to fight back. Spartacus makes one final charge at the Romans. Legend says he fought to the death at the front lines and was never found again.
Right.
Rome then crucifies 6,000 of his followers
Right.
along the Appian Way. That's famous, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes out of
They
Rome.
crucified everyone. No, I
Heads.
mean the actual lining, the
Yeah,
whole Appian
yeah,
Way.
yeah.
The Via Appia.
Again, 6,000 crosses. That's some hard work. You got to
That's
remember.
a lot of logistics,
It
isn't it?
is. It's 3,000
per side.
Well, Gav, it's 18. It's 18,000 nails.
It's a lot of nails.
It's a lot of nails.
I mean, to put up one crucifix with a body on it, that's got to be at least a morning's work for 10 men.
Gav, it's labour intensive.
It's got to be.
Labour. You got to dig
I
the
don't know, I
hole.
wonder
You
how
got to
the
get
unions felt
it. You
about
got to
all
get
of
it in
this.
there. Remember, the ground's parched.
Had it been ratified by management, though?
Remember, it's parched.
Very
isn't it?
parched, yeah. And the roads are, it's just, they use proper
right.
flagstones. They've got to do it off the side.
Off the side of the road there. You got to get the thing in.
I suppose they had access
You don't want
to
it
the
to
site.
sag.
They did have access to the site by wagon.
They did. You got obviously intrinsically, Gav. It's
They did have access to the site.
You got site access intrinsically. It's on a road.
Did they warn before they killed them all?
Yeah.
Did they warn other Romans that there would be roadworks coming
there'd
through
be-
here
there'd be crucifixions.
in a couple of weeks' time?
on the bank holiday weekend.
Had
this
they
holiday
left
weekend.
notices up?
Yeah. Well, you're just stuck behind a really slow-moving cart.
Caution, corpses ahead.
One of the interesting facts you learn is the reason Roman roads were straight was not because that's the easiest distance as the crow flies.
Not just
literally.
the shortest
The
distance.
shortest distance between 2 points straight line. Nothing to do with that at all.
Why?
It's because Roman carts, all over chariots,
Yeah.
Roman carts, they had no steering.
Well, the ones with 4 wheels.
Yes, it's like any wagon.
It's just 4 solid wheels.
Four wheels, but on.
So they didn't do corners.
Of course, they couldn't do corners.
That's amazing.
Right. So on all Roman highways, you literally have the wheels are in solid ruts down
I
the
didn't
side.
realise. So they're
Or
almost like railway tracks.
Yes, exactly right.
Right.
So you literally go, yeah, and you haven't got to steer it
And you
because it
just
can't
go
come out the
together.
track. It's being pulled by oxen, being pulled by them, so that you cannot mess up on them.
They travelled in a train.
Yes, it was
literally.
It was
yeah.
literally like a train.
That's amazing.
You could no more turn off than you can on a train.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
No steering.
That's such an obvious thing once you know.
Once you know, yeah,
that's amazing.
So the point of that is, Gav, is that if you imagine you're stuck behind that on a bank holiday because they're crucifying
man.
6,000 of them.
Oh,
Man. I mean, obviously there'll be services where you can go past, and there'll be passing points. And fine if you're on a chariot or two-wheeled vehicle.
Did they have wild bean cafes?
Yeah, I
in
don't
Rome?
know. I don't know.
Fagioli Savage.
I don't know, Gav. I don't know, Gav. But I bet they were better than they were in Britain.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
they're terrible.
Definitely. But that's it. The story of Spartacus lives on for thousands of years.
Is there an I'm Spartacus moment where they tried to find Spartacus and everyone...
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. Tony Curtis wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't there looking all good looking
Yeah.
and looking
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
American.
Yeah. So there was no Tony Curtis.
No.
So was it Tony Curtis? Antonius
No, he was just called
Curtis.
Curtis.
Curtis. So there we go. Spartacus, Bloomin Legend.
Bloomin Legend. He had a go.
Cracked away.